Israel bombed Iran nuclear facilities and technology and scientists last night. Welcome to Doug in Exile, where I'm going to give you the only correct opinion. No, obviously, I'm a barely literate comic book. I know hardly anything. It happened way over there. But I will argue for my positions, and I'm 100% pro-Israel. And if you're already turning that off just because I said that, then I got nothing for you. Okay. But I get it. You know, people are on both sides. I got mostly right-wing people jumping all over me last night for supporting Israel, including on the right, not just anti-Semites on the left, but on the right too. And that's, you know, welcome to America. Welcome to free speech, everybody. Say what you want about the war. So here's the tweet from Trump, as everyone's asking for Trump. And this is Chief Trumpster. This guy's really upset. He goes, yikes, that President Trump is in support of this bombing. So here's Trump says, I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. Iran couldn't get this deal done with Israel. Can you guys tell me why Iran can't get a deal with Israel? I'll tell you all kinds of stories. Iran is deeply, at least on their hardcore religious side, the most anti-Israel, terrifying racist regime ever.
Iran's president responding, saying that its level of force and its actions will make Israel regret the actions that it took earlier today. Although preparation began long before. The mission included Mossad smuggling vehicles and drones into Iran, setting up a drone base in Iran, and activating the drones this morning to hit Iran's surface-to-air missiles. At the same time, the IDF deployed 200 aircraft. These were mainly fighter jets to hit roughly 100 targets in Iran. All of this aimed at hitting the heart of Iran's nuclear program. Today, the Israeli military says it also destroyed dozens of radar installations. Multiple explosions were heard at Iran's Natanz nuclear power facility. This is Iran's main enrichment facility. Now, back and forth today between how much has actually been hit and the level of damage there. Iran claims that it's still standing, but Israel says it has been severely damaged.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program.
Iran's foreign ministry firing back today, claiming that this could not have been carried out without the coordination and without the approval of the U.S. In response, Iran launched as many as 100 drones towards Israel. All of those were able to be struck down not only by the IAF, the Air Force, with these fighter jets trying to take down those drones, but also some of the drones that were fired into Jordan's airspace were shot down by their government as well.
And I just want to split Iran up into, just like every country, including America, there's good and there's bad. Okay, the good people in Iran, they're the ones that were doing that kind of green movement thing where the women wanted to go back to a more Western Iran. They didn't want to wear hijabs and burqas and all that. They wanted more freedom. You know, this is about Carter screwed this whole thing up with the Shah of Iran back in the late 70s. Okay, we'll flat out always do statecraft because it's easier than fighting a war. If you can preventively go in and then we end up getting overly excited, you know, funding Iran-Contra and all these weird wars, getting involved in Iraq. You know, everyone has the best of intentions. And then there's isolationists that go, don't spend a dime in pull all our troops back, just build, you know, walls, a big, you know, wall around the United States, thinking like a missile won't reach us or that AI can't come in and infect us, that foreigners can't invade. It's like, guys, you are involved in a giant global economy. I think we can argue over how much or how little. I don't think we have to be a globalist. I don't think we have to be in the UN. I think the UN was a great intention and a terrible thing to now belong to.
Thank you, Israel, for making the world a safer place.
who's largely, Israel's just defending itself, but Israel isn't doing anything without Trump's permission. So Trump definitely gave them permission. And a lot of times it might be Israel doing our dirty work behind the scenes, where we go to them and say, hey, you take out those nuclear facilities of Iran for us. And Israel goes, yeah, okay, we'll take the blame. We'll do all of it. Just blame us and let us go.
And he responded by saying, quote, we, of course, support Israel, obviously, and supported it like nobody has ever supported it. And then he went on to say this: Iran should have listened to me when I said, I gave them, I don't know if you know this, but I gave them a 60-day warning. And today is day 61. And then he said they, meaning Iran, should now come to the table to make a deal before it's too late. And then he said something really noteworthy. He said, the people I was dealing with are dead, the hardliners, to which I just wanted to underscore. So what you're saying is Israel has now killed the people who you were dealing with. And he said very sarcastically, they didn't die of the flu. They didn't die of COVID.
And then Trump said, I told Iran it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, and that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it, with much more to come. So that's Trump admitting that those are our missiles that we manufacture, helping Israel. And Israel knows how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead now, and it will only get worse. There has been great death and destruction, but there's still time to make this slaughter, with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal, come to an end. So Trump is trying to force Iran to the negotiating table. It is important that Trump not stand against Israel in this moment, or Iran will smell weakness and think, hey, we don't have to negotiate with Israel. Trump is forcing them, saying this is going to be worse. Now, remember, Israel attacking Iran is just self-defense. Iran has funded and bombed Israel, and hundreds of bombs into Israel aimed at citizens. Absolute acts of war for years, probably for generations. So Israel going in and taking out their nuclear facilities is not Israel doing anything preemptive, nor is it neocons, nor is it the Jews, which all of the chat on Twitter is being filled with, all of the right-wing, racist, anti-Semite, genocidal people. There's a bunch of them. There's far more on the left, don't get me wrong, but they're here on the right too, going, it's the Jews. When you look into everything, it's the Jews.
Do anything to a Jew? Whoa, boy. Hey.
Well, you know what? The Jews know that Iran have called Israel a one-bomb state. That means one bomb will wipe it out because it's so small. And Iran is so huge, they don't have to worry about a one-bomb state. It's very luxurious for us to say, Israel, you can't preemptively strike anything. And by the way, Israel's not going to go occupy them. It's not a war against the people. They clearly targeted just military facilities to set their bomb clock back. Who ruined the bomb clock? Trump, by the way, set them back by wanting a strong deal with Iran. But it was Barack Obama and Biden who weakened our plans against Iran's nuclear facility. They caused this because they're why.
Why say that you're unhappy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do, not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why, lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran.
Because we weren't tough enough on Iran back in the day, they're why Iran was able to develop a nuclear bomb. You know what? Weak leadership allows bad guys to develop really bad weapons. Let's get back to Trump's final statement here. They are all dead now, and it's getting worse. There's already been a great deal of death and destruction. He wants them to negotiate and come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there's nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late, and God bless you all. Like I said, Israel doesn't do anything without Trump. So everyone's saying like Trump doesn't, he would never get involved in this war because they hate Jews so much and they love Trump so much that they can't imagine that he would at all give them permission or offer them aid. And that's just politics. Anti-Semitism, it's fine. And by the way, I am both a Christian, but I'm also not necessarily believe in the Jewish religion at all. I believe that Jesus could be the new covenant with Israel. That's my belief, and that's my general instruction. So I'm not at all saying that Israel has magic soil and God's promise to them, and that's why we have to go and defend Israel. Those who bless Israel, do not stand against Israel. I'm not quoting any of that. I'm saying there are only Western ally, and they take care of the entire Middle East. They do all of our dirty work for us, and I'm thankful for it. And the way that you keep it, people are going like, oh, Israel's trying to get us into World War III, like Lindsey Graham. No, they just now stopped World War III. The way that you start World War III is you allow Iran to get a nuclear bomb. Then they drop it on Israel first thing because they're an absolute Jew-hating cult that want to wipe Israel off the map. Then when one of our allies in UN gets nuked, you don't think that would start World War III where we all have to get involved and then take out Iran? We just saved Iran's life. Just like what we did with Japan in World War II by dropping a nuke on them. You just saved their casualties, their innocent people, their ability to possibly change their society. Israel did that, and I'm thankful for it. Now, I could get through all of these anti-Trump statements. In fact, maybe I will. Maybe I got to show you just how bad Twitter can be, the anti-Trump sentiments. And you can tell me, this is Chief Trumpster. This is a guy that I've followed a lot who posted that. Can we have World War III start on Monday? Let us have a weekend before Israel screws the world at least. No, Israel just saved the world. I'm in complete opposition to these isolationists that just think, bro, your chance of us not getting involved is now completely over. The future is so bleak. No, I think the future's bright. I think it just got brighter. This guy's going like, oh, now you got us involved. Dude, we've always been involved. You're asleep and you're naive. If you don't think we have military bases around the world, thousands of them. You may disagree with it, but Trump's not closing them down. Nick nailed it. Every front with a second Trump term. Glad I didn't vote. Now these guys are all coming out. Oh, I didn't vote for Trump. Trump was bad. I don't think World War III Iran is having trouble putting an altogether effective response to Israel. The mandate was no more endless wars. Do you know how you stop an endless war? You win them. You completely nuke all of your enemy's defenses, their offensive weapon. These people are naive. They think, oh, Iran, they're heroic, they're good. They won't touch anyone. But the Jews, they'll touch everyone. They're satanic, It's like you just throw your politics in or whatever. That's my position on this. I support Israel. More strikes are going to happen. I support Trump, and I think this is a very good move, a timely move. You cannot allow Iran to have a nuclear facility. I think it's good as long as it remains firing on just Iran's nuclear development, their scientists, and all of their weaponry development that is only used against Israel. Trump did good on this. I support Israel. Now I want to know what you guys think in the chat below. How many anti-Israel people do I have in the chat below? Let me know. I'm a big boy. I can take it all day. And if you support Israel for religious reasons, I'd want to know if you'll support Israel for purely practical reasons as a fellow ally. I want to know. I'm Doug in Exile. Let's go. Pray for Israel and pray for Iran too.